Hi, Captain Steve for BoatTEST.com, and today we're going to go over the procedure for making a radio call for assistance. First thing we have to do is determine if there's an emergency. What is an emergency? Well, are you taking on water? Are there lives at risk? Then you need to call the Coast Guard on channel 16. But it's not always an emergency situation. Sometimes you ran out of gas, the engine's broken down. You're doing fine, you're just without power. Now we can make a call for help in a more relaxed atmosphere. Let's go over the procedures for doing that. So now here we are without power and adrift. What are we going to do now? Well, there's a couple of things you can check to make sure that you're not going to get started again. Let's go over some of them. First of all, there's a kill switch in the engine control. If it's not in neutral, you're not going to get started. So, is it in neutral? Are you sure? Just give it a couple of shakes back and forth. Try starting again. If you still get nothing, your engine kill lanyard, is that in place? If that's removed, you're not going to get your engine started, so make sure that's taken care of. Third, your battery switch. Sometimes that gets knocked out of position. Sometimes people just want to see what happens when you turn it and they don't tell you, so make sure that that's turned on. So now we've determined it's not an emergency, we're just without power. What's our next step? First, you stabilize the situation. Are you drifting towards rocks? Are you drifting towards shore, shallow water? Set your anchor. Now's a good time to just sit right where you are. Next, it's time to call for help. But who are you going to call? The Coast Guard? Well, they only rescue people, not boats that are broken down. How about the local harbor master? Well, they're here to enforce the laws, and coming out to fetch you is not a really good use of their resources. So when it's time to call for help, you're going to get on the radio on channel 16. We'll call a commercial towing company.
Cito, over.
Vessel hailing Cito. This is Cito on 16. Go ahead.
We have broken down.
We were out boating for the day and we can't get the motor started.
Roger that, Cap. How many people on board? Is everybody in good health?
I have 3 passengers on board and everybody's fine.
Now that you've established VHF communications, the Cito captain will ask you to switch to a proper working channel in order to free up channel 16 for the next boater in need. If you do not reestablish communication on that working frequency, then you should go back to channel 16 to contact Cito again.
Roger that. Can you give me a size and description of your vessel, please?
I'm in a 23-foot Grady.
Roger that. And can you give me an approximate geographic location?
We are about a mile out of Mattatuck Inlet.
So I'll have a boat underway. Should be at your location in 20 minutes or so. We'll hail you when we get a little closer. How copy?
Now it's important to note that it doesn't always result in a tow. Sometimes you just need a part brought out to you. You need a fuel drop. You know that you broke a belt, but you don't have the belt and you have the tools with you. They'll come and bring the belt out to you. Doesn't always have to end up in a tow. As a professional captain, I always try to be prepared, and one of the best ways you can be prepared as a recreational boater is to have a membership with a towing service. For BoatTEST.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.